Hi guys, it's Jane, and today we're going to talk about chapters 1 to 9 in Where the Mountain Meets the Moon by Grace Lin. And you can just see here that it has won the Newbery Honor, which is just a really prestigious award. And then also on the cover is really interesting. It shows a dragon and then a girl on the dragon, okay? And so, that means that this book is gonna be amazing, right? At least it's gonna be exciting. And then these patterns here, they're actually clues to what's actually gonna happen in the book. So keep a lookout for that, okay? And now let's start on chapter 1. So, would you like to live near Fruitless Mountain? I mean, and like, in your opinion, is Fruitless Mountain like really appealing, or is it like really, really just not appealing? A little not appealing, right? But it's not bad. And so there's a village though, right? And then in this village, like, just from the first chapter, like, if you could draw this village, how would you draw the village? Like really shabby and dirty and like really and then yeah, it would just be terrible. I can really imagine that. Anyway, so do you think that how do you think that the people who lived in the village, like, they were pretty poor, right? And so, and everything was sort of like brown, which is bad. And then, but there was only one there, but then there was Minley, right? Minley was not brown and dull. And I'm gonna actually read this sentence. Is this: Minley was not brown and dull like the rest of the village. She had glossy black hair with pink cheeks, shining eyes, always eager for adventure, and a fat smile that flashed from her face. Why didn't that she wouldn't be dirty here? And like, do you think that it's like really like that? Like she's not, like, she isn't dull or brown, or do you think it's just sort of, symbolically or metaphorically? Maybe a little metaphorically, but I'm pretty sure that she also like isn't that brown. Anyway, so do you think that Minley and her parents should really just feel really bad because they have like a bad fortune? Or do you think that they shouldn't feel bad even if it's not the best fortune? What do you think? Now, so now do you think that like for real, like, the stories keep Minley from being dull and brown? Like, do you think that's really true? And like, in your opinion, what's one thing that really just makes, not like dull and brown, but really just makes you happy, okay? Because I'm pretty sure, maybe you do live in a village, but for some of us, we live in cities, towns, and we might not always grow rice, so yeah. Well, I'll have to think about that. I'll tell you later. Anyway, so, and now we're going to talk about the story of Fruitless Mountain. So, Jade Dragon was really offended by these two people who were talking about how they were tired of the rain, right? Do you think that Jade Dragon should have stopped rain here? And also, if you have been one of the four, dragons, the four of Jade Dragon's children, right? Would you have sacrificed yourself to become water? Please be honest here. I mean, like, would you really sacrifice yourself for being water? I mean, like, I would try to do it some other way, like, sort of, that would be like the last straw. I'm not gonna just be like, okay, I wouldn't just be like, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice myself. No, I'm gonna actually try to coax my mom, and if that doesn't work, yeah. Okay, anyway, so the old man of the moon, right? And like, just from the first chapter, like, how do you imagine the old man of the moon as? an old moon. Well, I mean, not an old moon, an old man. That was easy. You know, like in a sage-ish, you know, like cross-legged on a rock with the moon behind him. That's always what I imagine, you know. And so also, anyway, you know, Ma says this: the old man of the moon, another story. Our house is bare and our rice hardly fills our bowls, but we have plenty of stories. What a poor fortune we have. And now, so, do you think that Ma really appreciates stories? No, right? Even if stories are amazing, what does she really want here? Not stories, right? What else? A good fortune. Yeah, and you don't blame her, right? But anyway, so do you think that Ma is really a positive character in the book? No, right? And so, if you have a Minley, how would you have tried to make this right? I would have tried to make, you know, a few repairs and maybe just make the house look better. I'll have to think about how, but I'll just try to make the house look better maybe. I don't know. Now, chapter 2. So do you think that a kid should work in the field? I mean, she doesn't even go to school. And I have a question. Do you like school? School's not my favorite thing, but compared to working in the rice fields, which one would you do? School. I would do school. Now, anyway, so do you think that, like, if you had to work like Minley, how would you feel? And you could use a simile, and I'm pretty sure you know how. Now, so do you think that this goldfish that Minley actually got is actually going to bring gold and jade or not? And also, do you think that a fish can actually do that, or do you think it's just superstition, and do you think that's going to really help? It's just superstition, but I have a feeling that it's gonna work, okay? And now, so do you think that Minley was pretty foolish when he did this or not? And so, now, we are now going on to chapter 3. So, if you had been Ma or Ba, then how would you have reacted to it? Well, if I'd been Ma, I would just been like, wow, this is amazing. The fish is so pretty. I mean, I like fish. I have a fish down there. And so, yeah, I like fish. I would think that it would be really pretty. And yeah, I would be happy with Minley. But the real Ma isn't like that. Anyway, so do you think that you can never like have enough of stories? Because Ma has enough of stories right now. You know, she's had enough of stories about 17 years ago. And but do you think that you know, can you ever be sick of stories or not? I can never be, you know? I mean, I have stories, I have lots of stories. This one over there, there's like tons. Over there, there's tons. Over there, there's tons. Over there, there's tons. Over there, there's tons. I like all of it. Now, we're going to talk about the story of the old man of the moon. And so, Magistrate Tiger, if you had been the subjects of the Magistrate Tiger, what would you have done to maybe stop Magistrate Tiger? We would have gathered villagers and other people, and we would have made like an alliance. And I don't know, I mean, even the guards who work with a Magistrate Tiger probably don't like Magistrate Tiger. Or we could just get some weapons and make Magistrate Tiger, just surrender. I don't know, but maybe something like that, you know? I don't know, but that might work. Anyway, so do you think that, do you really believe in, everybody has a red cord tied around their, and, it goes shorter and shorter until they meet somebody else? And, what do you think about this? It's just that it's a little creepy that somebody knows my destiny and, somebody actually tied a thread around me and maybe somebody else. I'm not very sure. And it's getting shorter and shorter. It's just not how I imagined it. I'm just saying it's not my favorite idea, but yeah, it's still pretty interesting in my opinion. Now, so do you think that that Magistrate's Tiger's son is actually going to marry the Grocer's daughter, even if somebody stabbed her? I think so. Yeah, I just had the feeling, and I was right. And if you have been Magistrate Tiger, how would you have felt about this? And of course, I'm pretty sure that you're not like a mean, cruel person, but imagine yourself as a mean, cruel person, and maybe you can do it. I'd be infuriated. I'd be like, and I would be like, but I wouldn't be that angry because still, I got some royal blood. But but still, I would be really surprised and a little infuriated, and I'll be like, I got tricked. I don't know, something like that. So, do you think that Boz should suffer like this and give his rice to this fish? And also, I have a question. I mean, can a goldfish eat rice? I have no idea, and so I wish you had an idea because I have just no idea whatsoever about this. I mean, I have goldfish. I had a goldfish and I fed them flakes, goldfish flakes. So I don't know if they eat rice. I know for a fact that snails cannot eat rice. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an expert on snails, but whatever the case, I'm not very sure, but yeah. Min Lee set the goldfish free, and then, the goldfish spoke, How did you feel when you read that? And did you think were you really, really surprised? Or were you like, oh yeah, I knew there was gonna be some magic, considering that there is a dragon on the cover and dragons are magic? I don't know, I was pretty surprised though. I'll just say that. And now, so, do you think that this goldfish actually is going to help Min Lee get good fortune? Or do you think it's just gonna be like a trick or something? What do you think? And do you think that Min Lee actually is dreaming? What do you think really, We don't know, but let's go to chapter 5. Now, so, Min Lee wrote a note to Ma and Ba and says, Dear Ma and Ba, I am going to Neverending Mountain to ask the old man of the moon how I can change our fortune. I might be away for many days, but don't worry. Excuse me. That wasn't part of the letter, okay? But, okay. Anyway, I will be fine. When I come back, we will be able to fill our house with gold and jade. Love, your obedient daughter, Min Lee. So, do you think that Min Lee is very obedient? No offense, but running off probably isn't the most obedient thing to do. Anyway, so how do you think that a needle, a pair of chopsticks, her white rabbit's wool, a small piece of dry bamboo, hollow gourd full of water, a small knife, a fishnet, uncooked rice, large pot, and a copper coin, how do you think that those are all going to help? And do you think that she's actually going to make good fortune come or not? We're going to have to see. Now, chapter 6. Now, so she begins to do this really amazing thing, right? The thing is, this is magic. And are you comfortable with this magic or not? Quick question. And so, and were you surprised by this? Or after the talking goldfish, you weren't very surprised? I was a little surprised, but talking goldfish really is a limit here. So, yeah, I wasn't that surprised. Now, anyway, so do you think that Ma and Ba actually will catch up to Min Lee or not? Hopefully not, because then they're going to have to stop her. Yeah, but I have a feeling that no, they aren't. And finally, last question until we move on, and that is, this magic here. All this magic. If you have been Min Lee, would you have been scared and afraid because this magic? It's magic, and magic might make people feel a little unsure. And would you be like that, scared and afraid, or would you be that's normal and you wouldn't care? I'll be a little scared and afraid. I mean, like, I've entered the world of magic, and so far, you know, like, magic is just so magical. No. You know, I think that you know what I mean. And so it's just a little uncomfortable to think that I will just be like this. Wah! And suddenly a white rabbit will just pop out. I don't know. Even though, yeah, there are the tricks like that, and I have learned some magic tricks. I mean, not real magic, like, not like with a wand and making, you know, Harry Potter, like, in there, like, I mean, they do with wands. I mean, it's like a little, just, I think that you know what I mean, though. Now, chapter 7. Now, so Ma and Ba, right? They are just so miserable when Minli goes, right? Do you think that Minli's just adding to all their troubles and worries? And, like, do you think that it's just Minli's fault for making everything worse? Or do you think that in the end, Minli's gonna make everything happy? What do you think? Do you think that it's Ba's fault that you know, because of all the stories that Minli's gone? Or do you think it's not Ba's fault and it's just Minli's choice? It's Minli's choice, right? And so, you know, so it says that, so Ma tells Ba this. It is all the stories he told her. She believed them and now she's looking for fairy tales. And now I'm gonna read this. Her words cut into Ba like slices from a knife. But even though his face was pained, he said nothing and continued to pack, you know? What does this really show about Ba, and like, what is it to you? Because I'm pretty sure that if you do have a daughter, then I'm pretty sure that she did not run away, and I'm pretty sure that during that, your wife offended you. And if you did, wow, that's really a big coincidence. And anyway, so like, do you so what would it be, you know, like, to you? It may be something really bad, and if that's pretty hard for anything to happen. So what about just X out the anything, something running away, just cutting it, you know, mean words to you? Like, how do you face this? How do you respond? I mean, at times I can just snap back, but at times I'm just like this. You know, like, I just gnash my teeth a little, but I don't like punch or anything, you know. I just try to be quiet, but you know, I can be a little angry at times. Okay. Anyway, so Ma was you know, and then so Ma was walking, right? And then they found Minli's footprints. Or are they Minli's footprints, right? There's a line behind them. And from what we know about Minli, we know because like more than half of the book is in Minli's point of view. Has Minli gotten anything like a walking stick? No. So do you think that these are the correct set of tracks? Maybe not. And if they aren't, then what do you think that these tracks belong to? It's surely not Minli. So what do you think? It's getting exciting, right? Now, so chapter 8. Now we hear, you know, there's like, help, can you help me? This voice, right? Who did you think it was? Well, I just kept on reading. I didn't even think, you know? And then we realized that it was a dragon. But from like what he said before, like, help, help. Do you think that this dragon is actually like a kind dragon? And do you think that's gonna help or hurt Minli? Well, look at this dragon. This dragon looks friendly. And it has Minli on the back. So, who knows? Maybe the dragon actually is friendly. And this is their first acquaintance. We're gonna have to find out, you know? And so if you have been Minli, then would you have been like so terrified, like you would have fainted? Or how would you have reacted? My heart would have actually just jumped up, but I would be like, ah! But after that, not so much, just a simple, ah! and then I would probably almost faint, tried to run and tried to go back to the shore. We are going to go to chapter 9. So is Mom really kind and friendly to Ba? Not much, right? And so the thing is, they finally found who the trash belonged to. And it wasn't Min-Lee? No. It was the Goldfish Man. And so do you think that they're ever going to find Min-Lee? And finally, also, Ma and Bob, right? In your opinion, do you think that they are going to just go back to the village after this, or do you think that they'll keep on going to search? What do you think? And so actually today our chapters really just flew by because we're already finished, but I just really wanted to say some other things because we at times maybe we're not familiar with this. So Gracelyn, she's a Chinese person, and so now and so we're gonna just talk about China because we might not know everything about China, but before that, there's a lot of stories in this book. Stories and stories. Stories in the story, right? Do you like this or not? And why do you think that Gracelyn put these stories in this book? And what does it really remind you of? It sort of reminds me of a whole treasury of story. I like it a lot. Yeah, and I think that she did a good job when she did that. And so, what are a few good things about these stories? 1, they help us explain a lot. 2, they're really fun. And 3, some of these are actually from Chinese mythology. Not exactly, but it sort of gives us a feeling and really just sort of connection to Chinese mythology, Chinese beliefs, Chinese culture. Now let's go into China itself. So, do you know anything about China here or not? About 10 things that you know about China. Let's see. Number 1, China is in Asia. Number 2, China is the 3rd largest country in the world. I think that's right. Number 3, dragons are one of the huge Chinese symbols. Number 4, Chinese history is thousands of years long. Number 5, China's capital is Beijing. Number 6, people in China speak Chinese. Okay, that was a really easy one. Number 7, many products are made in China. That's true. Number 8, giant pandas live in China. Number 9, China's border a few countries that China borders are North Korea and Mongolia. And number 10 would be China is by the South China Sea. It's right next to it. I got 10. Woohoo! I got it. What about you? And maybe you can use my ideas. Maybe you don't know anything about China. Just type in this. Things about China, or facts about China, or fun facts about China, or just China. Anything. It will come up. Yeah. And now, do you know a lot about Chinese history? And it really helps. So if you do, name 5 things that you know about Chinese history. Now guys, I hope that you really enjoyed Where the Mountain Meets the Moon chapters 1 to 9. And so I really had an amazing time. Now let's have just a few last questions. 1, what was your favorite part in chapters 1 to 9 so far? I liked when Min-Lee was talking to the goldfish. That was fun. And then what about favorite character and least favorite character? Oh yes, favorite character has to be Min-Lee. Least favorite character, Ma. She's sort of not the best character here. Even though I think the show she'll get better soon enough. Okay, as the story progresses, she'll get better in my opinion. Now, how did you like the book? I love this book. I've read it 2 times, time number 1, I loved the book. Time number 2, I loved the book even more. And so I love this book. And so then I have another question, and that is this. Do you think that these are prediction questions. 1, do you think that what do you think the dragon is going to do to Minli? 2, do you think that Minli's parents are going to give up or keep on searching for her? 3, do you think that Minli's parents are going to find Minli? 4, do you think that Minli is actually going to succeed in her mission? 5, how do you think that the Old Man of the Moon is going to be like? And number 6 is going to be, oh, that was thumbs up, yeah. Number 6 is going to be, do you think that, sorry, I forgot my question. It was, what might be a few difficulties? Maybe weather, bad people, animals, all those, We're gonna have to find out. Again, I hope that you had an amazing time with me. Keep on reading, because it's awesome. And also it just makes you stronger mentally, just mentally stronger, maybe even physically. I don't know how, but you might have a way. Now, so just make a difference in this world. I know you can do it, and just, enjoy Where the Mountain Meets the Moon, and I know that you can make a difference. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Hope that you enjoy Where the Mountain